Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed a topic that is BPO and the KPO. BPO means business process outsourcing, and the KPO is knowledge process outsourcing. So, in today's class, we are going to start the one of the last topic of your chapter 5, that is emerging modes of business. The topic is smart cards and the ATMs, meaning and the utility. Okay, what is the meaning of the smart card as well as the what is the use of the ATM? Okay, so a smart card is a small plastic card embedded with a memory chip and often a microprocessor and a battery used for information storage, management and the authentication. Okay, it looks like and also works like a credit card, but it is not having magnetic strip on its back. A smart card is more secure than a magnetic strip card. It is mostly used as a financial transaction card as it can be loaded with the digital money and can be used till the balance is zero. Example: SIM card, healthcare card, metro card, etc. Okay. So smart card is simply a small plastic card. Okay. It is of the uh, you have already seen the metro card. Okay, it is of the metro card as well as the SIM card. These all are the smart card. Okay, it is the small plastic card and embedded means covered with the memory chip. It has the memory chip and often a microprocessor and a battery used for information. Okay, so it has also microprocessor and they have it has also a battery which is basically used for the information to transfer the messages or information is transferring, and the storage facility, management and authentication. Okay, it also these kind of services are available in the smart card. Okay, it looks like and also works like a credit card. Okay, it is simply look like and also work. वो काम भी और किसकी तरह लगता है, क्रेडिट कार्ड से होते हैं, डेबिट कार्ड और द क्रेडिट कार्ड एटीएम्स, तो उसी की तरह वो देखने में भी लगता है एंड इट ऑल्सो वर्क्स लाइक द क्रेडिट कार्ड, बट इट्स नॉट हैव अ मैग्नेटिक स्ट्रिप ऑन इट्स बैक. You have seen that there is magnetic strip in the credit card ATM, but in the case of smart card there is no any kind of magnetic strip on its back. Okay, a smart card is more secure than a magnetic strip card. Okay, it is more secured and the more safety with their smart card as comparison to the magnetic strip card. It is mostly used as the financial transaction. Okay, it is used as the to transaction which is related to the finance or the money. Okay, whenever any person has to transfer their money from one person to another person, so they use these kind of smart cards. It can be as it can be loaded with the digital money. Okay, it has also loaded the digital money and can be used till the balance is zero. If the balance of these card is become the zero, so it can also be used at that time also. For example, there is SIM card, you know very well, when there is balance become zero, you can also use till that पीरियड. ओके, ऐसा नहीं है कि सिम कार्ड का बैलेंस ज़ीरो हो गया दैट मीन्स आप उसको यूज़ नहीं कर सकते हो. उसको अगर बैलेंस ज़ीरो भी हो सकता है तो भी क्या है, उसको हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं. हेल्थ केयर कार्ड ऑल्सो, हॉस्पिटल हैज़ ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइड द फैसिलिटी टू मेंटेन टू प्रिपेयर द हेल्थ कार्ड एंड द मेट्रो कार्ड. These all are the examples of the smart card. They are look like a credit card, but it doesn't have any kind of magnetic strip on its back, and we can also do the financial transaction, and it can also be used till the balance become zero. Okay, so sorry. So these all are the features of the smart card. Now what is the utility and the application of the smart card? Okay, where we use it and application where we apply the all the smart cards. Okay, first one is telecommunication. The most important application of the smart card in telecommunication, where a system where it is used as the SIM. Okay, SIM card. Next one is loyalty and the stored value. Various chain store offer discount and other services facility to their loyal customer, uh, uh, though through this smart card. Next is e-commerce. Smart cards are very often and used in the e-commerce for storing information of the customer and also for the making payments. Bank issues smart card. Many banks are also issue smart card for their customer which have multi-utility function. For example, Visa card, MasterCard, Maestro card, etc. Next is medical health care card. Many insurance company issues medical cards to their clients who have taken medical insurance from them. This card can be used to get cashless benefit from the hospital by showing that card. Okay, these all are the utility or the application of the smart card where we can use the all the smart card. So first one is telecommunication. The example of the telecommunication, we can communicate from one person to another person, that is SIM. Okay, we use the SIM in our phone so that we are able to contact with the other person. So we can use the smart card in the telecommunication. The full form of this SIM is subscriber identity module. Okay, next one is loyalty and stored value. Okay, various chain store means multi stores stores also offer the different kind of facilities to their loyal customer. Loyal means the one any chain stores retailer can trust on them. You can also see that there is also make a card like you whenever you go in the big bazaar, as well as other different kind of flying machine or different brand, they can also use they can also provide the offer the card to prepare a card that when you will purchase any good in the next time, you got the 10% off to परचेज दोज प्रोडक्ट. आपने देखा होगा कि जब बिग बाज़ार जाओ या कहीं और किसी ब्रांड में जाओ तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, कार्ड इशू कर देते हैं कि अगर नेक्स्ट टाइम आपने कुछ भी कोई भी परचेजिंग की तो वो क्या करेंगे, आपको 10 और 20% का ऑफर देंगे. तो ये क्या, दीज ऑल आर दी स्मार्ट कार्ड. ओके, सो the chain stores, the retailers also provide these kind of services for their loyal customer, the one who can the one they can trust on them. Okay, so these facilities also provided through the smart card, and the retailers also provide these kind of services to their customers. Next is e-commerce. Smart card are very often used in e-commerce for storing information of the customer and also for making payment. Okay, it is also used in the e-commerce, means buying and selling of the goods and services through the electronic method. So this card can also be used for the storing information, as well as they can also use for the making payment. Whenever they have to make the payment, though, so they can also use any kind of smart card and make the payment of the purchasing the product. Next one is bank issue and the smart card. Okay, many banks are also issues different kind of cards to their customer, basically for the different function. Okay, whenever they have to make a payment for their purchasing, as well as to make a whenever they have fill a form, so that they can also offer the different kind of services so that the customer is easily make a payment for the purchasing of their product. For example, there is Visa card, MasterCard, Maestro card. So this all are the example of the smart card which is also issued by the banks itself. Next is medical oblique healthcare cards. Okay, many insurance company issues medical cards to their clients who have taken medical insurance from them. Okay, there are various insurance company, they can also issue the medical cards or the smart card to their customers so that they can the one who has taken the insurance, medical insurance from them, from the insurance company, this card can be used to get cashless benefit from hospital by showing that card. Okay, when they went to the hospital, so that they show that card, and they can also take the benefit without any cash, because they have already make a payment of दैट ट्रीटमेंट बिफोर। कि वो लोग क्या करते हैं कि हॉस्पिटल में जाके वो कार्ड को इशू करा लेते हैं। अब जब वो कार्ड को इशू कराएंगे उसी टाइम उन क्या करते हैं, पेमेंट कर देते हैं 1500 2000 वट एवर जो प्राइस है वो कर लेते हैं। तो अगले बार जब भी वो जाएंगे हॉस्पिटल में ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, वो बस कार्ड को शो करेंगे और वो ट्रीटमेंट करवा सकते हैं। उन्हें किसी भी टाइप का तुरंत पेमेंट नहीं कराना पड़ेगा। ओके, सो दीज ऑल आर दी फैसिलिटीज़ which is provided for the to the customer, basically for issuing the smart card. So these all are the some utility as well as application of the smart card where the customer can use it and take the benefit from the it. Okay, now the next one is ATM. What is ATM? So ATM is a automated teller machine. You know the full form of ATM? That is automated teller machine. The person who make payment and accept deposit in bank is known as teller. Okay, the ATM refers to the mechanical and automatic teller which can do a teller's job 24 hours a day at less than a half the cost of the human teller. Okay, to use an ATM, you insert a plastic card in the machine and enter your identification code. If the code matches, the machine responds by giving cash, taking deposit, etc. Okay, and there are two primary type of ATM. First one is ATM basic unit, which allows customer to only withdraw cash and receive a report of the account balance. And the complex ATM, this machine accept deposit, facilitate credit card payment and gives complete account information. Okay, so what is the ATM? ATM is simply automated teller machine, a person or machine, a person or a that make payment and accept deposit. Okay, it also accept deposit as well as make payment, is known as teller. Okay, so ATM is a mechanical and automatic teller machine which can do job 24/7. Okay, there is no break of the work of the teller's job at less than the half cost of the human teller. What are the cost of the human teller? The ATM will take the less of the that amount. To use an ATM, you have to insert a plastic card in the machine, you know very well, and enter your identification code. You have to enter your password. If that password matches with your correct password, the machine respond by giving cash. Machine whatever you amount enter, 1000 or 2000, 5000, 10,000, whatever you amount enter in that machine, the machine will take your withdraw the amount, and they can also taking the deposit also from the customers. Okay, so there are also two type of the ATMs machine. First one is ATM basic unit, which directly which deal with the only provide the withdraw cash as receive a report. Okay, simply basic unit में क्या है कि वो बस आपको क्या करती है, विड्रॉ करती है। मतलब आपने जितना रुपया को उसमें एंटर किया, 5000 10,000, वो बस क्या करेगी, आपके कैश को विड्रॉ करेगी। नेक्स्ट है कॉम्प्लेक्स ATM। वो ऐसे ATMs होते हैं जो क्या करते हैं, आपके डिपॉजिट को एक्सेप्ट भी करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मेरे को 10,000 रुपीज़ क्या करना है, डिपॉजिट देना है, मतलब बैंक में, तो ऐसे भी ATMs होते हैं कि हम वहीं पे क्या कर सकते हैं, अपने मनी को डिपॉजिट भी कर सकते हैं। दे कैन ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड दी credit card payment facility. Okay, debit card, credit card facility. They can also provide the ATMs as well as give complete account information. They can also जो सारी सर्विसेज हम बैंक में जाके लेते हैं, वो सारी सर्विसेज कॉम्प्लेक्स ATM भी हमें प्रोवाइड कर दे सकते हैं। कि क्रेडिट कार्ड फैसिलिटी भी दे देंगे, अगर कोई अकाउंट से इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए हमें कुछ, तो वो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है, वो कॉम्प्लेक्स ATM प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं. ओके, सो इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट योर चैप्टर 5th, that is emerging mode of business. Now let's take some revision of all the chapter what we have studied in chapter 5th. Okay, so we have studied first topic is meaning and the scope of the business. Simply, e-business refers to the carrying on the business activities through the internet. Okay, e-business means the business which we can do through the internet facilities. So it includes the electronic transaction related to industry, commerce and trade. The activity or the transaction of the e-business are extended into 4 direction. We have already studied that the all the activities of the transaction of business is related to the 4 extent. First one is B2B commerce, means business to business commerce. Second one is B2C commerce, that is business to customer commerce. Third is C2C commerce, means customer to customer commerce. And the last one is intra-B commerce, means all the facilities are provided within the firm. We don't have go to other unit because the one department is interrelated to the another department of the that same firm. Okay, we do not go to the other firm to provide the different kind of facilities. Okay, now the next topic what we have studied, that is e-business versus e-commerce. Now what is the difference between the e-business and the e-commerce? E-business is the broader term, as we already know, and the e-commerce is the narrower term. E-business include industry of trade, commerce, whereas e-commerce is restricted on the commercial activities. Okay, in the e-business we have studied that it is related to the trade as well as commerce. Okay, but e-commerce is directly deal with the commercial activities where we have buy and the selling of the goods and services. And we have already know that the e-business is wider and it also included the e-commerce, means जो e-business में ही हम लोग कॉमर्स e-commerce को include कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि सिंपली जो e-business होता है वो उसमें ट्रेड एज वेल एज कॉमर्स की एक्टिविटीज़ दोनों आती हैं, बट ई-कॉमर्स में बस कॉमर्स की एक्टिविटीज़ आती. कॉमर्स की एक्टिविटी मीन्स बाइंग एंड द सेलिंग ऑफ द गुड्स ओनली. ओके, so it e-business is the broader term and the e-commerce is the narrower term. Okay, now the next topic is what are the different opportunities of the e-business, what is the future and what is where we need to the e-business. So first one is it is easy to form and the lower investment is required, because when any individual want to start a e-business, it is very easy to form as well as very low investment is required. For example, if we have to go through the internet or the e-business, first of all we have to make a website, we have display some goods or the our goods so that if any individual want to purchase that commodity, they can place an order and simply the company will deliver that good. Okay, it's not too much costly and it is very easy to form and it is also very convenient to use it. Next is the speed is also very fast because it is all go through the internet facility. Next is global reach, there is no geographical boundary for the e-business. Next is cost setting, the cost is very minimum to start it because there is no too much cost incurred to display the goods as well as to advertise the all the goods, because all these facilities are go through the website only. Next one is movement towards a paperless society. Okay, next is there is also more and more encouragement to lead to the paperless society. Okay, where there will be less paper will be used. So these all are the opportunities as well as the benefits of the conducting a e-business. Okay, next one is transactions. Okay, we have already studied what is transaction. It is the online opens up to the whole world as one shop with a simple click of a mouse. you can order any commodity from any part of the world. There are four phases of doing business in e-business or online. Okay, how we do the transaction in the e-business? So it is very easy. We have to make a four phases of the transaction. So we make easily do the e-business, and anybody can reach to the through the e-business. So what is the first step? The first one is plan your realistic e-business plan. First of all, we have to make a plan. So what we have to do, which kind of product we have to sold. The first of all, we have to also see what is the main interest of the customer, which kind of product the customer will be demand. So first step is to decide or the plan the realistic e-business. That means कि we will go through the realistic, not in virtual कि ऐसा होगा ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स को लेंगे. नहीं, हम पहले पूरे मार्केट की स्ट्रैटेजी को करेंगे, मार्केट की रिसर्च करेंगे कि किस टाइप के प्रोडक्ट कस्टमर के हैं डिमांड करें. सो उसके अकॉर्डिंग पहले एक प्लान करना है. नेक्स्ट इज एग्जीक्यूट द प्लान. जो हमने प्लान को बनाया उसको एग्जीक्यूट करना है, मीन्स एप्लीकेशन में लाना है, अप्लाई करना है. नेक्स्ट इज एक्सेप्टिंग ऑर्डर एंड डिलीवरी द गुड्स. अब जब हम उसको प्रैक्टिकली स्टार्ट कर दिए अपने ई बिज़नेस को, अब जो भी ऑर्डर आ रहा है, कस्टमर्स ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, उन ऑर्डर को एक्सेप्ट करना है, एज वेल एज डिलीवरी ऑफ गुड्स एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल. जितना जल्दी हो सके हम उन सारे गुड्स को डिलीवरी करना है. नेक्स्ट इज देयर इज़ ऑल्सो पेमेंट मैकेनिज़्म ऑफ टू पेमेंट कैन बी मेड थ्रू द फॉलोइंग वेज. ओके, पेमेंट भी जब करना होगा तो उनके बहुत सारे वेज हैं. फर्स्ट इज कैश ऑन डिलीवरी. पर्सन क्या कर सकता है, जब उसको डिलीवरी हो जाए गुड्स की, वो उस टाइम कैश के थ्रू पेमेंट कर सकता है, चेक के थ्रू भी पेमेंट कर सकता है. नेक्स्ट इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक बैंक फंड ट्रांसफ़र ऑल्सो कर सकता है, नॉन बैंकिंग ट्रांसफ़र. नेक्स्ट इज थ्रू क्रेडिट कार्ड और द डेबिट कार्ड, एज वेल एज दे कैन ऑल्सो pay the amount through the digital cash, that is Bheem, UPI or RuPay. So all these are the different digital cash facilities. Now the next one is what are the different securities problem related to the e-business. Okay, there is also some problem which is related to the security. Okay, there is too much chances in the e-business of the hacking as well as viruses also. So first one is transactional risk after online transaction. Okay, first the transactional risk will happen. Next is storage risk, which deals with the hackers or the hacking, and the next one is virus. Okay, these all are the risk related to the storage. Next one is risk to threat to intellectual property and the privacy. So these all as well as next one is hacking, so it's also included in the storage. That means these all are these security related problem which may come into the e-business also whenever any businessman started to do the e-business. So these all are the some problems or the risk which is related to him, so that they have to be very certain and very clear for that, so that they can protect their website also and do not face the different kind of hacking as well as different kind of viruses which may enter into their computer, and all the data will be lost when any kind of viruses will enter into the computer. So it will be too much loss for any business man. Now the next one is what are the different resources required for the successful implementation of the e-business. Okay, whenever any businessman or the firm want to start a e-business, so what kind of resources they have to need to start a e-business whenever they want to implement the e-business? First of all, they have to be computer hardware. Okay, they have to be simple a computer, as well as they have a laptop in which all kind of facilities are available. The speed of the computer will also be too much. There is also a antivirus, so that no virus can enter and all the loss will be happen. So computer hardware is mandatory for the e-business. Next one is there should be technically qualified staff, कि जो भी स्टाफ हम रखेंगे आईटी एज वेल एज सॉफ्टवेयर से रिलेटेड, वो क्या होने चाहिए, एकदम परफेक्ट होने चाहिए, क्वालिफाइड एज वेल एज स्किल्ड होने चाहिए एंड ट्रेंड भी. And the next one is computerized system of receive payment. There is also facilities for the computerized receiving payment. So the businessman should have the contact with the different kind of bank, so that the payment, online payment can be made through this, and the any customer want to submit or the make a payment, they can also through the bank payment, through the digital cash, to the debit card or the credit card. So businessman should have take the contact with the different kind of bank. Next is well designed website. The website is also too much attractive, so the person or the any purchaser or the buyer will attract with that, and they want to purchase the commodities or the goods from that website. Okay, so it should be too much attractive. Next is telecommunication facilities. Okay, there should be a telecommunication services, so that the owner as well as the different kind of the staff will directly contact with their customer. If any kind of services or the problem they are facing the customer, they can also sort out all the problems. Okay, so these all are the resources which is required for the implementation of the e-business. Okay, now the next one is outsourcing. Okay, what is outsourcing? Outsourcing simply means a hire services from the आउटसाइड दी एजेंसी और आउटसाइड दी कंट्री की. अगर किसी को क्या है मतलब अब सर्विसेज को लेना है, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सर्विसेज, दे कैन हायर दी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सर्विसेज फ्रॉम दी आउटसाइड दी एजेंसी और फ्रॉम दी आउटसाइड देयर फर्म और दी फ्रॉम आउटसाइड दी कंट्री ऑल्सो, फॉर देयर रूटीन वर्क एज वेल एज फॉर देयर एनी स्पेशलाइज्ड एक्टिविटी. ओके, कि वो लोग अपनी कोई रूटीन वर्क के लिए भी कर सकते हैं, एज वेल एज दे कैन ऑल्सो फॉर देयर एनी स्पेसिफिक वर्क, कि अगर उनको क्या है अपने डिफरेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ को क्या करना है, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करना है, सो दैट दे कैन ऑल्सो हायर. और अगर उनको क्या करना है, एक परमानेंट एक रखना है किसी इंडिविजुअल को फॉर देयर रूटीन वर्क, डेली वर्क, दे कैन ऑल्सो outsource different kind of services from the outside the agency as well as outside the country. Next one is what are the different benefits. What it says it refers to getting a business task done from the outside the agency. The business task will be done, they can take in the services from the outside the agency. Okay, now the next one is what are the benefits of the outsourcing. The benefit of the outsourcing is concentration on the core competence. It is also related to the reduction in cost. The cost will also reduce from the taking the different kind of benefits of the outsourcing. It also helps to avoid the labor problem. If any individual facing the problem, they can go through the other country or the other agency also to do their work. Next one is benefit of the latest development. If any kind of development has happened there, so any company can hire the different staff as well as different services from the other country or the outside agency, so that they can also develop their firms and develop their production and the marketing research, marketing strategies. For that they can also hire the different kind of people from the outside the agency. And next one is KPO. KPO means knowledge process outsourcing. Knowledge process outsourcing means simply a company hire the services for the, basically it is related to the for the analytical thinking, for the knowledge, for the information related. Because if any company want to increase their production, first of all they have to decide or make a strategy with related to it. What are the different marketing research, what is the market condition, so that they can also related to they can also hire for the knowledge related outsourcing from the outside the agency. And in the outsourcing, that is BPO, it is related to the process outsourcing. All the process, for that they can hire the BPO. But in the case of KPO, knowledge process outsourcing, it is related to the uh, getting the information or the knowledge from the outside the agencies. So it is also the knowledge intensive business. It is basically deal with the knowledge related. KPO creates value for the client. It also create the value for the client, the one who are taking the or the as well as they are working in the business. KPO involves advanced analytical thinking. KPO hire the those kind of people as well as services who have the analytical thinking. And next one is, it also increases the efficiency and save the cost. Okay, there if different kind of person will hire to produce or to inform the different kind of services which is related to the increase their productivity, so efficiency and effectiveness of the company will also increases, and the cost of hiring as well as incurring in the business will also the reduces. Okay, so it all about your chapter 5, emerging modes of the business. In next class we will continue the new chapter.